What's going on, world? Hope all is well. Much love. It's your man, Cool Hunter. Always remember, if things are not going the way that you want them to, does not mean things not working out for the best. Tonight, I got my dog, Rome from Related by Love in the stew. Rome, was good?
Man, all is well, good man. All is
Good to
well.
see you, baby.
Yes,
Good to see
sir.
you,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Before we even get into the conversation, man, plug the website, man. We got the gear
Oh
on.
man. Oh man.
We talking fashion today. My man has an amazing clothing line. I just got me a new piece. I know I look good in this,
Yeah,
so I ain't gonna
yeah,
ask y'all nothing. You know what I'm saying? Social
yeah,
media when I post this.
yeah, you definitely
But
killing it. Definitely killing it, man. But
yeah, throw your
it's
website out there, man.
it's real simple, man. I learned from a guy, man. He told me keep it simple, man. So it's Related by Love. That's the name of the brand. So I ain't gonna give you no hashtags, no underscores, none of that wild stuff to go with. Keep it real simple. Related by Love, man. Relatedbylove.net. My apologies. So relatedbylove.net is where you can find all this super duper fly gear, man.
Got you,
Yes,
got you.
sir.
So you actually just said something from a marketing standpoint. I'm gonna circle back to, but
Mm-hmm.
before we started recording, you when we was outside, you said something that was powerful about just in our community, in the black community,
Mm-hmm.
how people need to stand on their tongue.
Hey, close, close. It's
I
like
keep
people
saying
need
it wrong. My
people.
bad.
Nah, you understand it though. But it's about people sit on their tongue.
Sit on their tongue. Got
Yes,
you, got you.
sir.
So elaborate on the concept of in our community, what you mean when people sitting on their tongue.
All right. Well, it's real simple to me, right? I think in a lot of different neighborhoods, we always have said person that's like the leader of the neighborhood. I don't care where you go. And they might be different tiers. It might be from 16, 18 to 13 to 14. You always have guys who kind of like lead their crew, for lack of better words. And I believe that each person who leads their crew in every neighborhood, I think what we're doing wrong now in our neighborhoods is that we're not standing up and leading properly. Meaning they're not speaking to the youngest the way they should. And everybody around every neighborhood, there's one person who has the power to be able to change all the lives in the neighborhood. And if they point them in the right direction, they can go in the right direction. If them person leading them in the wrong directions, those kids will go in the wrong direction.
That's heavy. We talking about male leadership in our communities.
Heck yeah.
Male and female
Heck
leadership, but
yeah.
as men, we have to, you know what I'm saying, work on being better leaders in the black community. So,
Sure.
so how do we use our voices better from a leadership standpoint when you look at these different tiers? Because we know we got bad leadership. We was talking about big homies sending little homies to crash out and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And just the level of manipulation an older person might use against a younger person for negativity versus using it, well, not even saying using it for positivity, because you shouldn't be trying to manipulate people anyway,
Yeah.
but using that tongue, using that voice for positivity. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, what are some of the things you think we can do to change that?
I mean, I think again, it starts with that person. Because rather it be, like, say, for instance, let's say, for lack of better words, you have that dude that's real wild. Let's say you got the killer in the neighborhood, right? That killer still got cousins and uncles that he respect. So them people got to say something to him, like, look here, man, you tripping, man. You need to stop doing what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? So it's still somebody that got that person's ear. And that person is the person that I'm speaking of that need to get up off and stop sitting on their tongue and say something to said person. I might can't say nothing to the killer. He might
Right.
not, because I ain't the guy he listening to.
Right.
But it might be his wise uncle that he look up to that could tell him, look here, nephew, cut it out, man. You dead wrong for that, man. You need to do better, man. Somebody can put something on his mind because
Right.
he sees somebody he looking up to. You know what I mean? In most cases, there is someone that can always speak to said person. And that's the person I want to talk to. That's the person I want to challenge. That's the person that I want to see do better. So,
Right. And I think part of the challenge, especially look at me going into 2025, things have kind of spiraled out of control in a way where it's like there's almost a fear for us to hold each other accountable. It's almost a fear for us to discipline one another for just the simple fact that it might come with violence, the pushback, you know what I'm saying, from regardless of who you may be talking to, regardless of the age range, they might not just say something crazy to you, they might do something to you. And I think it's dissuaded a lot of people from even attempting to try to say anything. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Because we know it. I think that's the bad part. that we seeing in our communities when we look at the levels of unaccountability with behavior. We talking about outside things and in the street. It's like you said, everybody knows who's doing what.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody know.
Yeah.
And it's like the people that are in the know, like you said, that the killer, the robber, the hustler looks up to and respects. If they not going to say nothing to him, it's like, well, where does the accountability start and begin?
Well, if you don't mind, do me a favor. What that say on your left sleeve over there, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Respect for respect.
There it is.
How about that?
So for my thing is, I learned in life, right? When you leave with respect, 95% of the time you'll get it back. So when you come to the killer, you can't come at him in no macho, rough, rowdy way. You know what I mean? First of all, you got to sit back and analyze him first. Make sure that you know the way to cut into him.
Right.
'Cause if you cut into him wrong, you might have some issues. But it's about being patient, taking your time, and giving them some respect, and coming at them as a man. You know what I mean? And and 90% of the time that work. And if you come as a person, you come at them, and they don't receive the respect or the knowledge you're trying to give them, and they want to be defiant or they want to be rowdy, you step away and you back up off of them. You know what I mean? So, but again, I found, and that's why I have that on my gear, is something that helped me in life, is that I believe that when I've ever approached people and I come at them, lead with respect, I get it back like a good 95% of the time. That's a good percentage to work with if you ask me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I think, like I said, if there's people sitting on their tongue, then at the same time, it's not people standing up at all costs that's really ready to take on whatever repercussions come. It's like a lot of our people have gotten to a point where we're so individualized now. Dr. Claude Anderson speaks about this often in some of his lectures. Shout out to Dr. Claude.
Bad
oh, my
man.
God, legend. But we're too, American society has divided us to where we're so individualized. So our connections to our households, neighborhoods, communities isn't of a duty and responsibility to where, all right, I see them youngins doing something. Like we was talking, like when we were younger, I know in my neighborhood, like on my street, you know what I'm saying, off Allentown Road, like, Fort Wash, like right there, right down the street from Crossland, or right across the street from Ebenezer. The big Ebenezer anyway. You know what I'm saying? I go on the same street as the small one, but like we're real close knit. So you can't skip school and walk past your mother house and think she ain't gonna say nothing to you, and then she ain't gonna call your mother and father, and then when they get home, they're gonna tighten you up. Like even if you were doing wrong as a youth, you know what I'm saying? You were mindful of how you did it. Whereas now there's a level of rebellion to where I'm gonna do this in your face. And if you say something to me, I'm going to slap you in your face. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're so far out of line. How we reel it back in? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot.
That's a great question, man. Again, I believe something like that starts at home, starts with your parents. And I know it's rough right now for a lot of parents. You got parents working majority of the time. Sometimes people are separated, and some parents, for lack of better words, their parents fumble the ball with them. So they don't know no better. See what I'm saying?
This is true.
Some people are their kids' best friend, and they drink, smoke with them, let them do things that I might not condone, and then you wonder why they're a little out of hand. And then some people aren't disciplining their kids enough to where as though their kids understand, or they even, I don't want to use fear, they respect grown-ups. Because
other grown-ups other than their parents.
Because some of them don't even respect their parents. When you get a child don't respect their parents, it's hard for them. The teachers to deal with them. It's hard for they're gonna become people that it's gonna be hard for their bosses to deal with them. If they, if they entrepreneurs, it's gonna be hard to people to even want to network with them people. So it's a trickle down effect. So I believe, to your point, it starts at home. Now, when it's already out of hand now, and they already rough and they already going crazy, that's when I have to really search hard for the answers. You know what I mean? But I still think it goes back to when it's that hard. I still think it goes back to the neighborhood. It's somebody that they respect, and just hope that the person they respect isn't the person who's leading them down the wrong path. Isn't the person that's taking advantage of them. You know what I mean? So a lot of times that's what be going on. So that's the tricky part. So if you got a group of youngsters and they being led by the wrong person, damn, I got to pray for those folks. You know what I mean? So,
and it's a lot of that. It's more that are being led by the wrong person than the
Yeah.
right one.
Yeah, it's the wrong folks. Don't get me started about the music and the entertainment and things of that nature. All that play a hand in what our kids are doing out here. Cause they still young babies, but they doing grown up stuff. You out here shooting, robbing, killing, and you 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. You're still a puppy.
Okay.
You don't have a clue what you actually doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And or
Yeah.
the consequences.
I was getting ready to say the ramifications.
That's when it get real heavy for you. That's when you get that hit up, when you get that stick upside your head, and that judge hit that gavel on the top of your head, and he say 45, and you guys sit there, you got to digest 45, and you look around, everybody that you was on that little, whoever was with you, they snitching on you, and your 45 turning 65, and you got to do it. Nobody answer those phones. Your mom ain't picking up, or your mom the only one picking up. But your friends, they gone. They moved on. Life goes on. When you in there by yourself, that's when it get real rough, man. And I don't want our kids to have to experience that. So I would hope that these conversations that me and you having now, that the kids can see this type of stuff and they can learn to be like, you know what, it's another way to go. That's my goal.
The village is weak. Like, because you just said something about parents, and I don't have children yet. And I often get pushed back when I
How
talk
you pull
about
it off? That's another
I
question.
know, right? Now that's a whole nother podcast in itself. So,
The young legend out here, man. Yeah.
but I've noticed that it's like I'll make comments or just share my opinion. I'm an opinionated person, so I generally have an opinion just on everything for the most part, or a lot of stuff I'll say. But I recognize that now there's like walls up. Like I said, with this individualism, it's almost like walls up. It's like parents now don't want nobody to say nothing to their kid, even if they not. It's like, this is my child. I'm gonna raise them the way that I want them to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But there's no connection to the impact that their behavior has on others.
Yeah.
From the parent and the child. It's
Yeah.
everybody's thinking solely about them until you need somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then
Come help me bail little Jimmy out. Now you want to call him.
right.
Now my input is okay.
Or he done messed with the wrong one and now you want to beg them like, no, that's my baby. No. And like, nah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You either coming outside or we gonna come in there and get him.
Yeesh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeesh.
So
Yeesh.
it's like you can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
You can't be unaccountable in how we set standards of discipline for children, but then can't nobody tell you anything about you being a parent. Like,
Yeah.
how do we, you know what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily asking how we fix these things, but for us to be in this position, it's like, come on, man, like we got to do something.
Yeah. And again,
How do we, well, I will ask you a question. Let me change that.
Go ahead.
How do we find ways to be constructively critical to parenting?
Whew. Man, that's such a rough and touchy situation. When you start dealing with kids, it gets real rough, and even if you try to deal with the parents, the kids feels like boy. So that's a touchy situation, man. So to answer your question, man, I would say again, at least with respect. You got to come at the person, and you got to be honest, but you don't have to be. Not people say I'm blunt and honest. You still got to have some coof about you because you want the message to be received properly. So you don't want to come at them screaming, yelling, degrading the person, speaking down to them, talking bad to them, and expect them to have their ear. It don't work like that. So again, I believe you leave with respect, man, and hopefully the said person here, they might not hear it right away. But at least you did your job and said something to them. And then at least, let's say they don't listen to me and they done heard it. Then you come to them and listen to you and then they done heard it. Then their neighbor done heard it. One day they going to look up like, damn.
Right.
Everybody said the same thing.
But you know what? That's a hell of a point because it's like, it seems like there's like, almost like a fatigue with trying to do it now. It's like, I remember back in the day, like it seemed like your grandmother, your grandfather, just the village didn't get tired of holding children accountable to stand in their place or disciplining them accordingly as they grow. It's like, your uncle ain't have no limitations to checking you when you was wrong. It wasn't like, man, I'm tired of telling you this. He'll be tired of telling you, and it might just reflect in his tone or his choice of words, but he gonna say something.
Yeah.
But now it's like, well, they ain't gonna listen, so I ain't got time.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, where's the level of accountability for the village? Like, if we're going to have a real village or community, and it's interesting we talking about this because I was just watching a Claude Anderson lecture, and he was in Chicago, and he said that we don't have a community, we have neighborhoods, and when you talk to certain black people about stuff like that, they might get offended.
Yeah.
It's like, and he, of course, he's in his bag, so he
Unapologetic.
you know what I'm
He
saying?
ain't
So he's
playing
like,
with
you ain't got no damn community. You got the neighborhoods. You don't own nothing.
True.
You don't work together. You don't pool your money together for your own solutions. You know what I'm saying? You don't. We talked about parents, and he's like, that's not a community. That's a neighbor. That's just a bunch of people that live around each other that are not working collectively for anything.
Yeah.
If you look in every city, there's a little something.
Yeah. Little
Might be a
China.
little Haiti,
Yeah.
a little China, a little
Italy.
Serbia, a little
Yeah.
Italy, a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
Nigeria. It's because those groups of people have a duty, responsibility, loyalty, commitment to the greater good of the group. Where we have been, our mindsets have been manipulated, and we've been indoctrinated and just been spanked mentally to the point where we actually look at each other like, I'm tired of hearing the word op.
Yeah, man. So to your question, like you spoke on this. One thing I think I want people to really, cause I hear a lot of grown folks my age saying it's like it's useless. There's no cause. We
That's crazy.
gotta stop. We gotta stop giving
crazy.
up. Some people at my age done folded in the towel and gave up. They still sitting on their tongue. They think it's a useless cause. I don't believe that. When I play ball, man, anybody that know me knows that when I play, man, the game ain't over till it's over. I don't give a damn about 2 touchdowns. I think we could come back. You seen Reggie Miller. I don't know how many threes he shot within a certain amount of time. Anybody else would have said, hey, we done. We gave up, but he didn't give up. So me, as a fighter in me, I want everybody to understand that, yo, we can do this. But if we done gave up already, how you gonna win if you already quit? If you already done quit on the youngest, you already done gave up on them.
Yeah. And go ahead, I ain't even cut you off.
And they take that approach. How many people, man, that's a lost cause. I ain't talking to them youngest. They stupid. They gave up on them.
Right.
We shouldn't give up on our babies. Nobody else, nobody gave up on us. You see what I'm saying? Those people you refer to, our elders, they ain't never stopped. But again, they ain't never have to lift all the weight on their own.
Right.
You had your uncle, you had your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, you had your aunt, who's your mother called your cousin. Now you got cousins that just your mother friends, but they your cousins. We grew up like that. I don't see that no more. So we kind of lost that. But again, we can always get back to that. That's the thing that I want everybody to understand.
Yeah.
We can get back to that. And we should get back
We
to that.
have to.
Our kids and everybody that's counting on us deserve it. And you go back, you said something about how like it's attacking our mind. Hey, bro, when it comes back to it, man, that's one of our strongest attributes. You know what I mean? From being black folks. One of our strongest attributes. We mentally tough. We could get through anything. It's been proven. If a nuclear bomb hit here, right,
Right.
we gonna come out green. It's gonna be us and roaches, but we gonna be here. You see what I'm saying?
Man.
We
Yeah.
gonna be here. We gonna survive that motherfucker somehow, some way. Think about it.
All the stuff we've been through.
We might be green. We might have a little spicy. We might can swim in the water now. But
Right.
end of the day, we built mentally tough. That's why they attacking our minds, and that's why they got them phones and everything in everybody hands and all that thing like that. And going back to like you said about Mr. Claude, and you know, we're communities. You know, I forgot what you said.
He said we have neighborhoods, not communities.
Yeah, we got to get back to that, man. We got to get back, and we can. And again,
Absolutely can.
it's all a mind game because I've been in the streets, man. The streets make you not trust each other. That's another trick it plays on us and make us all look at each other with a side eye. Every guy that I know has been in the streets, we got our antennas up thinking somebody trying to get us. Because again, you had no choice to think that way.
You got one hand on your gun at all times.
Yeah, man. And so you have to. That's another booby trap. That's another way. Oh, they don't trust each other now. They can't.
All right.
That backdoor stuff.
All right. That's what everybody's a op.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Man.
Opposition. Like, well, if you're so keen to, this is how I know the lessons aren't being poured in and instilled, because if you're so keen on your opposition, then your op shouldn't be the person that you think it is that look like you. It's a whole bunch of other people.
Yeah.
whole bunch of other people. I'm saying after I seen a girl I went to school with just get into it with a dude. I guess I don't know. She went somewhere
A
walking
guy?
and shopping. Or old white dude. I think he. I guess she said, you know, I'll actually show you the video.
Was it the head, the hat on, the MAGA hat, or
Nah,
not
but
that?
he
Okay,
had like
okay.
he looked like the father off what's that Family Guy with like the hat with the beer belly over his belt. You know what I'm
One
saying?
of them.
I guess he said something racist like you look like Kamala Harris or something like that, and she spazzed out, started recording them, stuff like that. Like we've always been at war with our experience in America.
Right. Right.
Regardless of what you may think or perceive or understand, that doesn't mean that anything has changed. It's just evolved. I was just telling my dog, I was like, the corporation is the evolved plantation. Nothing's changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
At the top of the plantation, it was a European male. At the top of the corporation, it's a European male, generally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Now, everything under him might not be that way,
Right.
but he at the top because he running stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we can't have our youth thinking that their opposition looks like them when there's so many other pitfalls, traps, tiers of oppression and you know systemic challenges that you got to face, and you worried about a disagreement that you should be able to work out.
There you go. Yeah. A lot of kids aren't even taught how to communicate through conflict. You know, it's hard. You know, you think you're a sucker if you go tell a guy, look here, man, pull him to the side, like, man, what happened? What went on? This how I was feeling. This how you was feeling. And I learned a long time ago, if you catch that person by himself and talk to him by himself, that give him an opportunity
Yes.
to communicate with you and back out of the drama.
Mhm.
But if you
Yep.
talk to him in front of everybody,
He got to
now
put on the
everybody
show.
want to be a tough guy because
Yeah.
they don't want to seem like no sucker. So I learned a long time, I'm going to catch you by yourself. And if you still really want to do it, we're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But after we have a communication and we both understand where we coming from, we both understand we ain't no suckers. You ain't no punk. But I ain't gonna let you punk me. You ain't gonna be punk you, but we ain't gotta do this. But if you really want to do it, we're gonna do it. But half the time, if you talk in front of the crowd, they get influenced. They get peer pressured into
Right, because everybody won't watch,
Crashing
especially
out.
now. Man,
Right.
it's like soon as something about that,
right. Yeah.
I think they about to fight y'all.
Come on, man. They don't need to try to break it up. They don't need to try to break it up no more. They don't need to try to break
Like
it up.
it's so wild. It's like you'll rather incriminate yourself or incriminate somebody else, or just not help a person. What the hell you doing recording somebody getting hurt right in front of you, or getting like if somebody was to pull out a gun in front of me and about to have a beef with somebody else, the last thing I'm about to do is record it.
No, sir. They forget bullets ain't got no name.
No
on it.
name on it.
And everybody don't know how to shoot. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we all over the place, but again, we circle back into community, which is part of the reason why I love what you're doing with your brand is
Yes,
just
sir.
the meaning of the name, related by love.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't just by blood.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We have to have more of a duty and responsibility to each other. But I wanted to touch on something. I kind of want to, change speeds a little bit because you said something earlier about how you develop the name.
Mm-hmm.
So you wanted something simple.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something to the point. Like kind of explain and elaborate. How did you even come up with the name Related by Love?
Man, to be perfectly honest with you, man, I've shared this with a few people, but to keep it all the way 100 with you, man, from being outside in the streets, man, two people I love got into it with each other. And had they both knew they knew me, the outcome wouldn't have been what it was. So that's the true meaning of how the brand came up. So
That's
so when you see me talk about that we all related somehow, and I tell you it's whether by friendship, marriage, or blood, but if nothing else by love, and to keep that in mind before you act in violence. Why? Because you could be hurting somebody you love without even knowing. That really is something deep, heavy to my heart. Because imagine being in the middle of something when a person that you know, that the two people that you know love you, and they get into it. I'm hurt from that.
I think we've seen that a lot in our communities. Because I know for me, I've always learned. I grew up as an only child anyway.
Yeah.
So I always knew how to somewhat pick my battles. I was always loyal to my friends, but I always recognized too, like you can be cool with, and like I've always been cool with different people that sometimes might have an issue with each other. So it's like, well, I'm not about to be a part of that, but at the same time, like, what's the issue?
Yeah. And were you in those situations, were you ever able to like mend the situation?
Sometimes you can, but
Mm-hmm.
if you understand what's transpired, sometimes you gotta back away
Yeah.
because you have to be accountable to your behavior. So it's like this is why when and I mentioned being critical of parents and in like the village, we gotta stop certain things. I'm a big on preventative measures.
For sure.
I'm huge on preventative measures.
That's me for
We
sure.
can't. What one thing you can't do? You can't have nobody sliding over here, drills, all this stuff y'all talking about. Once you pull out a gun on somebody,
Yeah.
you can't. So you can't be like, you know what? I learned my lesson. I shouldn't have done that. Like, nah, that's trauma. You just inflicted on somebody.
Yeah.
That person, you might have triggered that person in a certain way to where now I gotta hold you accountable for that.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can't always do something and come back from it. That's why I was giving an example. Like I've seen stories where like people are murder, commit crimes, go to prison, do their time, change their life, might find a spiritual path to go down, come home, and there's somebody waiting for you.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Because everything that you felt like you did to make amends just ain't enough to bring back what you took away.
Yeah. Now, we talked about this briefly, and in those situations like that, yo, I do wish we get stronger, and somebody stand up and say, you know what, let bygones be bygones. And again, I'm not saying it ain't gonna be tough. I'm not saying it ain't gonna be hard. But at the end of the day, though, if somebody don't stop that cycle, when does it ever end?
It does, and that's the key word, is cycle.
Yeah.
The only way to stop a cycle is to break it.
So it takes somebody tough. So we all talk about generational curses. We want to break that in our family. A lot of us are standing up, getting therapy, and breaking generational curses. Now we need those thug dudes to break the generational curse and the generational cycle of continually killing him. Because at the end of the day, nobody wins.
Right.
Because again, when you start killing people, man, and people go to jail, man, because you're affecting millions of people.
Especially when you look at so many.
You messing with the neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? You messing with generations. You know what I'm saying? You dealing with
when you really put it like that.
families, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, and then again it keeps going. And you go back. I've never been to California, but I hear about it. Right? You got people fighting wars that's been decades long. So now you got men
Started by people that's dead
and gone, and they done squashed it already. So as a people, we talked about our people being so super tough, right? How the nuclear bomb hit here, we be survivors. These are the same tough people that I'm begging to stop this shit, because we can. If anybody can stop it, we can. Imagine how much. I want corporate America to be done with jails, and we can stop this shit by stop doing all the dumb shit we doing. Imagine we start really messing with their money. Oh, these Blackbird words, these ninjas ain't going to jail no more. They ain't doing the most stupid stuff no more. They treat each other with kindness and love. That's what's generally in our heart, for real. That's who in our core as black folks. That's who we really are, for real. When you really deep down inside, even when them hardcore killers go to jail, and they get in there and they get that wisdom and that knowledge. They understand. You understand their heart and their compassion and who they really are. That's why they don't like to let half of them back out again. That's why they stop all the programs while you in jail, because they going ahead. They done figured it out, and they might take it back out here. They gonna stop this corporation money we got going on, because the jail is a big business. It goes back to what you said about the slavery thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's lock them up. Let's make them fix these TVs that we're gonna charge you guys on Black Friday. $7.49.
Free labor. Essentially,
these dudes are getting paid, right? They getting paid
80 cents a day or something.
If.
You know what I'm saying? 20, 30.
If.
It's crazy.
Right? And then
if you decide to do it, you know what I'm saying?
But you're getting paid peanuts. One of my things I talk about all the time, and it's on topic, but just something I want to get across here. Sometimes, right, in the streets, I had to let stuff slide, right? I look at it like this. My buddy at my job said, man, he talks trash. Man, I took advantage of you. Nigga, I did this. I'd ate you up. No, you wouldn't. I'll tell you why. Let's say somebody got me for $10,000, right? And I knew he got me, right?
Right.
What can I do, right? If I go kill a nigga, am I getting my money back?
I was just having a conversation with my dog.
Am I getting it back?
Nope.
Hell nah, right? So what I learned, I give him some real rough, really stuff. I threaten him a little bit, but not no crazy dumb shit. But I would talk to him enough and respect him enough, but still give him some thorough shit that I will always get my money back, right? Now, let's say I killed him, right? And if I go to jail, right? Let's say they lock me up for 10 years. For $10,000, I got 10 years. You mean to tell me with my hustle, I can't make $10,000 in 10 years?
Right.
So certain shit you gotta let slide.
Right. It's almost like a business write-off.
It's a business write-off. You know what? I live and I learn. Now I ain't fucking with you. I learned that lesson. Yeah, it was a big one to learn.
Learn that lesson.
But again, let's say I go crash out. $10,000 in 10 years. If I can't make $10,000 in 10 years, I shouldn't be out here existing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I could be a male stripper or something. I can make that, baby. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
youngers gotta think like that. They gotta think. My mother told me a long time ago to think about the long game. What's the worst case scenario that could happen? And if you can handle that, do that. But a lot of times when you start thinking about the long game, oh, my mother gonna be crying, my sister gonna be crying, who gonna take care of who gonna school my sisters while I'm gone? Who gonna help my mom while I'm gone? Who gonna help my daughters while I'm gone? Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
So $10,000, yeah, I gotta let it go. You think you got me, but really I could get you.
Mm-hmm.
But that ain't worth it because I know who I am. That 10, I can make that back. I ain't fucking with you no more.
Right.
You done with me.
Right.
But I ain't gonna lie to you. Every person that ever betrayed me in that way, it was never nothing crazy like they robbed me or nothing like that. But anybody owe me some money, because I didn't beat them up, do nothing crazy to them, I always got my money back. And check this out. I always got it back out right when I really needed it.
That's the thing.
I'm talking every time.
It's almost like an investment. Like
Every time, though, Hunter.
I had a homie tell me it was the concept of buying people. He's like, you gotta understand how to buy people, man. I said, what you talking about? This is maybe 15 years ago, a little over 15 years ago. He was like, man, let's say a dude owe you $100, right? Regardless of whether you loaned it to him or whatever the situation is, right? It's $100, $250, right? Just a couple $100. We'll keep it something the way you can afford to give it, but you want it back though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was like, if he don't give you that money back, think about it. You just lost $100, $200, $300, $400. Something like you said, you got drive, you got hustle, you have ambition. You already trying. By the time you done loaned him that money or gave it to him, you already got more money coming in. But what you have learned though is that you can understand his moral compass, his integrity.
There you go.
His character,
There you
who
go.
he is as a man.
There you go.
See, you just bought him in that regard, or bought that from him in that sense. Because let's say it wasn't about giving him money and you trust this person.
Yeah.
You're loyal to this person.
Yeah.
And you might, hit a lick with him, and not necessarily saying illegal. It could be legal business.
There you go.
It could be anything.
Yeah.
Let's say because you didn't loan him the money, but you might have, sometime later put more trust in him. It might cost you more.
Hello.
So pay attention to when you loan somebody something like, you know what I'm saying? Because if they don't give it back, I was like, cool. I just know better than to not deal with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Versus standing on business. Like
Come on,
everybody's
man.
standing on business these days.
Is it really business?
But is it really business?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But instead of standing on business,
Yeah.
just peep game,
Yes, sir.
learn.
There you go.
Like, okay,
Yeah. He ain't to be
Now,
trusted
you
in that
draw
manner.
your lines in
There
the
you go.
sand of respect as a man. You don't
There you
never
go.
let nobody disrespect you to the point to where you feel,
Yeah.
you think or feel like they just gonna lean on you.
Yeah.
But pay attention to the lessons that you can gain from somebody about their moral compass. There's nothing more important than know where a person stand at.
Yeah.
And you don't always have the opportunity to kind of conveniently find that out.
Yeah. For sure.
You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't
Yeah.
have to have a child with a person to realize they're a bad person. Now, sometimes you may have to, but you got to deal with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
For sure.
And so on and so forth. In the streets, it is what it is. Certain things come with the game.
You better believe it.
So if you're going to conduct yourself a certain way or make certain decisions, you got to deal with what come with it.
And to you, like you going back to the game, a lot of these kids don't even understand because they tell about the rules of the game. We all know ain't no fucking rules. The rules there are no rules, right? Meaning you're gonna get snitched on, you're gonna get locked up, you're gonna potentially go to jail, your mother gonna cry, somebody gonna feel sorry, you're gonna get in there, you might work out, hopefully you get out the motherfucker and do something with your time. You know what I mean? It's all a cycle. There's no rules to the fucking game. And
It's
a
not.
lot of these youngers out here, they running out in traffic, you know what I'm saying, meaning the game, they getting involved with it, and they don't understand, like, they not fully taking the time, and there's no one telling them about the time and pouring into them, again, goes back to that sitting on your tongue thing. Let them know, shawty, you don't want this life, man. You do not want this, man. I had several guys when I was outside in the streets, man, that I would never introduce to the streets, right? Because I knew what came with it.
Right.
At one point in time, Hunter, believe it or not, I was okay with doing 25 years in my heart and my mind, knowing that
Mindset.
in my mind, knowing I'm not telling on nobody, I'm not saying to nobody, even when the person I might have got stuff from, I never got nothing on consignment. I always pay for what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? That way, if I get locked up, I won't have somebody's stuff on me. You know what I mean? So I just always been a man about that and understood like, yo, what I'm doing, you could get 25 plus. And I had to be ready to deal with those consequences. A lot of youngers don't think that far down the road. I had a guy I was talking to one time, right?
Absolutely.
To not to reveal who said person is, but I was talking to this young guy, right? He was out here in the mix, right? And one day I rolled up on him because he was like a friend of the family. And again, that's me not sitting on my tongue. I'm gonna go check him out. I went to a spot. When I say it was the sloppiest operation I've ever seen in my life, right? Right? When I say, look here, man. So me, being the person I am, I get him.
Sloppiest operation.
Hey, man, I'm not making this up, man. So I take a ride with him. I say, look here, man. Short, I don't know what you doing. And look, he making Luciano. I'm talking, my man come out there, pockets fluffy, back pockets fluffy. He like everything fluffy. He making money, but it's sloppy as hell. So I'm like, bro, this shit look crazy. I started talking to him. He told me the police know his name. I said, bro, when they know your name and they come in and tell you they know your name, they already got you.
It's too late.
If they disrespecting you, if the case is already got. You see what I'm saying? If they come tell your whole governor, your whole crew, and they just so blatant, it's a matter of time for they come get you, right? So I'm like, yo, you can do a certain amount of time. I'm like, nah, I want to get this little bit of time. This is right here because I'm only doing this. I said, Playboy, you tripping, right? Long story short, not even 2 months later, they came and get him. Got out, did it again. They got him now. He's in now, right? I'm saying all that to say that like these youngers, man, they don't really they unaware of what's going on. No one's really telling them like, yo, save your bread. You out here. Like, one of my things I told myself this, I learned this when I was young. I'm not gonna go out here and buy all these jokes. When I first got in the game, and I always want to ask people why they got in the game, right? It's a question you go, they get in the game, ask these niggas why. A lot of them get into it for crazy reasons. I got into it, I wanted to get a car to go see some girls, right? And then once I did that, I realized how much risk I'm taking. So me going out and buying Jordans and being fly and all that stuff, that wasn't my thing. I was like, you know what? I gotta have money for lawyers. At the time, I had 3 daughters. I'm like, yo, I gotta have, at the very least, if I get that 25 I talked about, I can have my mom potentially buy my kids stuff for Christmas. If I can't do it, if I can pay the lawyer to get me out, at least my mom could buy my kids something for Christmas, right? Because I know if I took him 25 pair of Jordans, he can't. Ain't no lawyer gonna he not gonna represent you if you got 20.
You can't do that.
You can't take a 25 pair of used Jordans, right? Sir. And say, sir, can you defend my son? He gonna get you like you crazy. So I knew to save my bread. Nobody's telling these youngers to get in this shit and go. Especially if y'all here killing it. Get in and get out. Get your business. Get your laundry. You might do something. Clean that shit up and go. Nobody tell them that. So it's just rough, man.
It is.
Dealing with this situation and life in general, man. But again, going back to sitting on your tongue, man. Somebody got to say something. I said something to the young dude, man, and what I said to him was legit. His operation was fucked up, and I talked to him now why he in, and I tell him, that's what I tell people in jail, man. Why you in there, man? Make that work for you. I know a lot of dudes that came in there, and when they got out, they ran laps around motherfuckers who out here.
Whole time.
You see what I'm saying? So unless you go in, but it's all in your mind
It's all
frame.
in your mindset.
If you go in there, you bullshitting around and getting more shit, you gonna stay in shit,
Right.
and you gonna get back in shit out here.
A lot of people don't understand, I've never done a bid, but, my mother's social worker been, I've kind of been inside of the, I've been going to courtrooms, looking at cases because that's how I, never mind the street part. She's like, I'm going to show you this part.
Hello.
I've been seeing niggas get cooked for 20 years.
Come on now.
25, I say 30, really.
All right, young dudes, puppies at that.
You know what I'm saying? Youngins.
Yeah.
I remember being in probation offices and seeing Bammers come in that joint and be on papers forever. You got to walk like you on eggshells. People of all ages. You know what I'm saying? But then you do see the younger ones, and my mother tried to instill things in them, and they respected her.
Yeah.
because she wasn't the type of PO. Because of course she was in the city. She was at the jump right there off of what's that, Minnesota and Good Hope Road. You know, it's not a probation office right there anymore. It's something
Okay.
else. It's another business. But used to be in there. Several of my aunts, uncles. You know, some of her best friends call them aunts, uncles. Now they was probation officers. So. I'm hearing stories about cases and jokers just getting cooked. I'm like, yeah. That ain't worth it.
No,
I'm
sir.
in Fort Wash. I'm about to go get on some of these these gals.
Yes, sir.
As the old heads used to say. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? Like, nah, y'all can, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't, I mean, unless somebody tried to like attack me or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm trying to hoop and use my ambition in a way to not even just stay out of the street, because that's not necessarily hard to do if you're
no.
trying to find your purpose, but it's hard as hell to try to figure out how to be successful in America.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Without, a jacket or, you know what I'm saying, charges and all that stuff on your name. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying?
sir.
So seeing that aspect of it, it's almost like a scare straight that most people don't have. Like,
Yeah.
if you go into a courtroom and you see Obama, bing, 35.
Yeah.
Who's next? What's the next case on the docket?
Yes, sir.
Like, Youngin can't even prosecute. You can't, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, bailiff, take his ass to the back.
Damn.
Miss So-and-so, you up next.
Damn. Yeah. That's a good thing. Like you say, going back to that scared straight, man, that might help some of the youngers out, man. You take them down in them court cases and they get to see. So some of the parents, after hearing this podcast, hopefully you take your kid, man, down to some of these courtrooms and watch them little youngers that look just like them, same
Just
little
go down
head
there.
dude.
You don't even have to know who.
There you go.
Just go in there,
man.
and sit and see what happens
Man.
with some of the cases that come up.
So parents, I challenge you guys, man, out here, man. This young man just told me, man, how it affected him, and you see it work for him. He's staying out of trouble. And guess what? No kids. That's another thing.
Hey,
Yeah,
go ahead.
let them tease. But look, so look here first. Take your kids down there, man. Let them see, man, that these youngers are getting what they call it? Baseball numbers, man. They getting 100 years, and they puppies, man. They young little dudes that look just like your child. Take them down there, man. Do your own scared straight program. Don't wait for nobody else to intervene with them. Right. You do it.
Right.
And that's what we be talking about outside.
Right.
You got it. We've got to step up and take care of
Gotta
these
have
kids
solution-based thought process.
Yes, sir.
At this point, I see a lot online, people expressing their opinions and their perspectives and their views on things, but fall short of what they feel like a solution is to the problem.
Yeah.
See, I just presented a challenge, but I also presented something that somebody can use.
Hello.
Because I have a duty and responsibility to my group. So I just don't be doing this podcasting thing just to be doing it. I might say some things you might not like. I might say some things that make you laugh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when it's time to talk about solutions, I got something for everything.
Yeah.
That's how I think.
Yeah. And one thing, like I said, man, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought it up. Because like I tell my kids all the time, man, you can learn from anything and everybody, right? So your situation, I ain't never think about that. I just went to court the other day, some traffic stuff, and I was like, damn, that's pretty cool. I wanted to show my daughter this little young lawyer lady that was in it, this young, on that approach, just that thought process, right? But to what you saying, man, if these parents don't take their kids down there, man, y'all seen what it did for this young man here, man, and let them go see these boys getting them numbers that look just like them.
Especially if you was cutting up. See, my mother was smart enough to where,
Preventive maintenance.
Right. So, I'm talking about, it wasn't even, this is elementary school. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was smart enough to plant the seed. So if I'm 6, 7, 8, I'm not even thinking about none of that. But you pick up on stuff, and then but then as you grow, you might not recognize one thing, and then you hear, murder charge or something like that, and your shit perk up. Then you
Yes, sir.
like, damn, he don't look that old.
Yeah.
They just gave him that much time.
Yeah.
She's like, yes, son. Like, it's not a game out
Oh,
here.
he my age.
Right. Or maybe not. Okay, let's say it's like I'm 13, 14 now.
Yeah.
But Bama 19 and you
Yeah.
get 20, 30.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
ain't sweet. That ain't what
Yeah.
you want. It ain't hard. You might not know what you want to
Yeah.
do, but you don't want to go through that.
Come on now.
So it's like, all right, I'm a change the trajectory of things from a standpoint like, all right, you know what? When I go back around the way and I'm hearing Bama's talking, to see y'all don't know. I'm cool.
Yeah. And
Y'all about to go on a dummy mission. You about to get jammed up.
Come on, man.
You're gonna start.
Let's
The lawyer going first. If you got a lawyer, because that's another thing you see when you're in them courtrooms. You see a whole bunch of public defenders.
Come on, man.
A whole bunch of Bamas that ain't really representing you, right? You know what I'm saying? So you see Bamas get railroaded, thrown under the bus. Don't have a chance. You know what I'm saying? A shot in hell, really.
Yeah.
and you facing serious stuff. So it's not a game. It's not a game.
And you said something slick though, right? 'Cause you said a word that we used back in the day. We called them crash dummies. Now they took the dummy part off, and they just let these youngers think it's cool to crash out. But back then we knew. That young gonna crash them. Let young go ahead and crash to the wall. Stay out of his way. He gonna run into someone on his own. We're gonna stay out of his way. You know what I'm saying? It's all a cycle, man, that these youngers got to wake up to. And again, man, it really touched my heart, man, to hear and to even come up with that solution that you just mentioned, man. Because I really hope people take to heart what we're saying right now and really take their kids. Parents, take a day off from work. Your kids love, this is a free promo, for Chipotle. They love Chipotle. Give them a nice little Chipotle bowl. Don't tell them where they going.
Right.
Don't give them no heads up. Take them out Chipotle and then take them to see some of these court cases, parents. Please, if you want to save your child, you're going to have to be the person to do it. It ain't going to be the school. They are there to help. But parents got to take initiative, man, and listen to what this young man said, man. Take them down there, because I ain't think about that. But now that I hear that would be so helpful.
And then there's another approach too. Like, when you're in high school, you got to. Do they still have to do community service?
I believe so.
I remember so I did my community service in the courtroom.
Yeah.
So I'll be like in a judge's chamber.
Is that just because your mom?
She had connections.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was her using what her resources.
There you go.
Or were from a social worker standpoint. But as a parent, like I said, if your son or daughter cutting up,
man,
pulling you out of school today, we just gonna go ahead and sit in here.
Yeah, let's take a trip.
You don't necessarily have to know what cases they are.
Exactly.
Just have them walk in there and see what the courtroom look like.
Yeah, man.
Go through the process again. Check that you sitting in there. Have them see somebody that got their parents out there hoping and praying that the judge don't throw their son or daughter under the jail.
Yeah.
And then when you see that person break down in the courtroom and cry, or when you see people before you walk into a courtroom, you see a joker head in his hands, you know what I'm saying, thinking about what he about to deal with, or what his family member about to deal with, or what just happened. If it doesn't wake him up, at least you played your part,
man. And again,
you got to play your part.
And it goes again. You said it to something similar earlier. If it don't wake him up, then it might wake him up later. Right. They might just have to do one bid instead of a life bid. They might get locked up there one time, like, damn, my mom, this was it.
You see what I'm saying?
Because you exposed them to it. Fred Taylor on the Pivot say something all the time about exposure. You know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of times our kids and our community, and it's by design, be clear, we're not exposed to a lot of things, man. We don't know things until we're exposed to it. So if you take your kids down there, you can expose them this. You can expose your kids to trades.
Right. It doesn't have to be negative,
man.
Because this is not negative, but it can be a bit much.
Yeah.
So I do something constructive. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, trades.
Yeah.
If you see that, you know what I'm saying, your kid is in the cars.
Yeah.
Ask him, can he clean or work at a mechanic?
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah.
Be proactive.
There you go. There you go. But sometimes parents get so laid back in their own life and their hardships that's going through life that sometimes they get too lazy. They don't take the time out to pour into their kids, man.
Or like you said, I think you said this too. You might have said it when we was outside. Some of them don't know because they've been failed. So again, if my mother was great and done certain things for me that have been positively impactful for me, then why not share it? That's something else that we got to do.
Yeah.
We got to stop hoarding information.
Hello.
Again, with this individualized thought, the first thing everybody want to do is get the bag and duck the fuck off.
Yeah.
And don't want to help nobody.
Yeah.
And helping somebody isn't necessarily buying them a house and taking care of them. But because we ain't saying that. We got to be accountable.
Yeah.
But share some information.
Man.
I lost a big homie on Mother's Day earlier this year. And one of the things that he did that was so impactful that I recognized though, because of course, your parents do things for you because they got to do things for you. Just so they can be a good parent. And they're good people. But once you assume the role of a parent, I got to feed my kid, clothe my kid, raise my kid, right? But pay attention when somebody gives you something that they don't benefit from. If somebody give you a book, they can't read it for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
So maybe it's something in there that might be able to help you out. If somebody tell you, like, you know what, check this program out. They can't watch it for you and perceive it for you and internalize it.
Hello.
check it out.
Man, one of the things that I've been preaching to my kids, man, is something that really touched me lately, right? And it's this, right? A lot of people, just going to off your point, a lot of people can like give great advice, right? But the hard part comes when that person got to do said advice, right? I'm gonna give you an example. My wife, right? She wanted me to go to school. And at the time I wasn't a great student. I skipped school too much. I wasn't great. I didn't like school. I said, well, baby, look, find a trade or something that I can go to. You know what I mean? So she looked up for me though, right? Plumbing, HVAC, electrical companies,
Carpentry.
everything. She looked, and the first person that called me back, I said, look, find something to pay me to go to school. 'Cause I didn't want to pay school. I didn't want to get in debt. So this company called me back, and I went and got my license being an electrician. Right, took me 4 years to do it. But first, before I did that, I had to go get my high school diploma, which I got at 33. Right, but going back to what my wife did, she planted the seed, but I still had to go to school them 4 years while working a hard ass construction job. See what I'm saying? I still got to put the work in. So when somebody give you advice, that's great. But the hard part truly comes in when you got to do that work. And can't nobody do that work for you. Can't nobody read that book for you. You see what I'm saying? Can't nobody take that test for you. Can't nobody go to school and pay attention. You know what I mean? So the real hard part for kids and everybody, even grown-ups, when somebody give you advice, the hard part still relies in you, and you got to do that work. And that's something I think that our kids need to understand. And when they listen to you and they actually do what you're supposed to do, please big them up on it. You know what I mean?
Now that's a good point. We got to elaborate on that too, because you was talking about like coaching and
Yes, sir.
the proper things to say and speak to a child.
It's on their right sleeve.
Matter of fact, that's right. That's right.
It's on their
Matter
right
of fact,
sleeve.
back to the merch. I'm not even gonna say the merch, to the clothing line.
Yeah.
Speak life into others.
Hello.
Why did you put this particular phrase on your clothes, on some of your clothing, your clothes and stuff like that?
Short answer to that, man, I can't be short. I be trying to be short, but I can't be short, right? I got a guy.
I'll take your time.
I got a guy. His name is by the name of Lee. He's a motivational speaker in DC, man. Real cool dude, right? Went to one of his seminars, and I had all this stuff in my brain, like my clothing line, what I want to do. It's like about several different ideas I wanted to do. And I was listening to him one day, and he was like, yo, kind of like, it wasn't even talking about the clothing brand, but he's mentioning like, yo, if you find something you love, you could try to find a way to incorporate everything you love into it, right? So my brand is originally obviously related by love, but everything that I put on my brand is something that I believe that helped me in life, right? So on the other sleeve, you got the respect for respect, right? And on this sleeve right here, getting back to that, you got to speak life in others. That's something that's just who I've been as a person, and I believe is so dope, right? I'm gonna give you an example of a negative way you can talk to your kids, and then a positive way you can talk to your kids, right? The negative way is I was dating this female years ago, right? When I say cold-blooded, no emotion, man. I'm talking about no emotion, man. Shorty cold-blooded, right? Cold-blooded. The only emotion I ever got out of this woman, ever seen out of this woman, right, is when she told me her mother called her a bitch. And that sticks with this grown-ass woman right now, at 40-something right now. The fact that her mother called, that's the only time I ever seen this woman show emotion. It was emotion of hurt, right? And then also, that's the part I know is bad, right? But growing up, I understand how people spoke life into me. My mom always spoke to my heart. You know what I mean? She told me dope things. And then you never know what people hold on to. You see what I'm saying? The fact that, you know, I might call a child stupid. Let's say you got 3 kids. You might call your kids stupid. Only one of them might take that stupid and it really bothers them. You might call one of them black and ugly. Out of all the 3, only one of them take the black and ugly defense, and now they got a complex. You see what I'm saying? But if you tell your kids, man, they super dope, man, or you got this, or you super brilliant, watch how their eyes perk up. Watch how they light up. Example, I got 5 daughters, right? One of my daughters couldn't sing a lick, right? I'm talking about when I say she had a voice mixed with T-bars and mystical, right? That's how. That's how raspy her voice was, right? So as a dad, you got people that would say, "Don't quit your day job," and they would discourage your kid right then and there. Don't quit your day job. Don't do that shit. I'm not telling my kids no shit like that. Excuse my French. I want my kids to always be able to dream and believe, right? So what I told her, I said, "Look, baby girl, okay, that's all right, girl. I can hear a little something up in there. But keep practicing, baby girl. Keep practicing. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get it." That alone, I watch my daughter's eyes light up and I watch her ears perk up because I'm encouraging her, right? When you see your kids' eyes light up and their ears perk up because you telling them some dope shit, you know you got their ear. You got their ear, you got their mind, bro.
Going in there.
So wouldn't you want to do that? So after a while, let's say a week later come back, okay, baby, getting a little better. I'm lying. I'm lying my ass off. It's still T-bars mixed with Mississippi, right? You know what I'm saying? We're shaking fast. All that still popping up. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So after a while, no BS, right? Mm-hmm. I say a few months went by me constantly encouraging, and my daughter gradually got better. After a while, that same daughter who I encouraged could sing. Mm-hmm. But imagine if I'd have told her, don't quit your day job. I had somebody tell me that about rapping. Best friend of mine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess he didn't want to see me grow, but I knew I had some skills. I got some skills, right? But because the nigga stunning on me like that, I felt that. So I would never want my kids to ever feel hurt by not speaking life into them. So you'll never hear me call my kids dumb, stupid, ugly, black, none of that goofy shit that parents do to their kids. Stop it, because you really hurting your kids, man. They might not say it, but your child that's gonna be 8 gonna tell you how that hurt her when she's 35. Mm-hmm. Or you're gonna see a complex in there when she's dealing with dudes, and you're gonna stunt their growth. So why not water your kids, man, or your family members, or your loved ones, or a friend by speaking life into them? So that's why that bad boy is on there, man.
You know what? That's actually, that's actually a huge solution for the Black community.
Hello.
Like I have to deal with working on again, my tonality in a sense, and not just with, ironically for me, not just with women, but with men too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, like I thought we were a little more.
Yeah.
But I get it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
I think for me, from my perspective, I can take tough coaching because I was raised that way. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the previous generation, they didn't have such a light hand. Because of how they were raised.
But you gotta think, it goes back to, as a leader, right? Mm-hmm. When you're on the football team, certain people, man, you can't talk to them rough like that. Certain people you can. So it's about picking and choosing and being aware of who you can talk to that way and who you can't. And then you adjusting your style to get the best out of said person. Mm-hmm. Some of your kids, you can be hard on them. Some you gotta be a little different with. So as a parent or as a friend or as a man to a woman, we really gotta be conscious of who we dealing with and how we speak and how we deal with them according to said person. That way we get the best out of them. Because that's what we all want, right?
I'm going to take this one and run with it because I'm going to hold myself accountable. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's not something I'm just getting aware of. I think I've really dealt with it more in relationships, with women.
Okay.
Because it's challenging sometimes when, it's hard for me to repeat the same thing over and over in the same tone to an adult. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta break that down. Break it down a little more.
I can have a certain supportive. I ain't gonna say supportive. That's the wrong word. I can be more tone conscious with a child. Boy or girl, wouldn't matter to me. Mm-hmm. Because I understand they're a growing, evolving person. You know what I'm saying? They're at this stage and they're gonna be growing. But I have to recognize that as adults, we might be the same age or similar ages, but we all aren't able to process things the same way. Mm-hmm. A lot of us are carrying around issues from when we were children and we haven't resolved them. Right. So when because it's not like I'm not an abusive person, so I ain't just talking shit to you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like on some Ike Turner, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, it might be at a point where we are at a disagreement. Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be something you did wrong to me.
Okay.
You made a mistake or you did something wrong, but now we deflect away from that because, well, it's how you said it. I'm like, well, how does that trump what you did? I can't. But again, for me, I've been able to learn. I was talking about this last time I was podding. I'm posted a video about just how I've been able to use constructive criticism. So I'm not going to keep going down that road. But a lot of people process this thing. It is. It's huge.
Yeah.
I've been able to use it to my advantage, but I see that others somewhat use it as a crutch, though, where it's like, damn. What I'm peeping, it's like when it's time to hold people accountable, they generally start talking about well, man, you ain't have to say it like this and you ain't have to say it like that. No, I always learned from my father that I ain't have to say none at all. I could just watch you fail.
Jeez. Hey, so to your point, man, you are, like you said, you are sometimes speaking to the inner child. So you ain't,
It's
even,
real.
you ain't even talk to the adult no more. Some of the things you might say might go back to somebody,
It's real. It's absolutely true.
parents treating them a certain way. Some people ain't got a voice because their parents shut them down. So yeah, it is something that, like if you say you need to work on it, you know yourself more than I do. So it's like, yo, yeah, if you can work on it, man. Because I
Gotta
think
speak
you
life
can be,
into others,
you can be
man.
better, man. One of the
Still
things,
got to hold people accountable. I ain't letting y'all off
hell
the
yeah,
hook.
nah, he ain't gonna do that now, ladies and gentlemen. He ain't going for that, man. But on some real thing though, right? I'm gonna be transparent with you. Me and my wife was just recently going through something, right? We're actually going to therapy now. It's pretty cool. It's working. But one of the things I peep game outside of my marriage and even outside of therapy, I watch some of these men out just how they just so stoic and calm in the midst of the storm when they girl or their significant other is going real wild and crazy. That calm. I want that super calm. I want to be able to control my emotions at all freaking time. And I believe if I'm able to control my emotions at all time, my wife would be able to control hers. Cause one of my guys I was walking with, his name Alfred Duncan, man. He told me this. We was walking one day when I was telling him about my situation. He said, "Man, what about you?" And he asked me, he said, "Man, as a man in the house, you the temperature. You control that motherfucker whether to go up or down." You see what I'm saying? So I thought about that real long and hard. And I'd already been telling my buddies like, "Yo, I gotta do better. I want to do better, right?" So me hearing that and taking that information and applying it is working. I still ain't where I want to be yet, but I would love to be so poised. And all the time, when the women and everything going crazy, if I could just sit in that pocket, that even pocket, right, and just be so mellow, baby, I hear where you coming from. I truly understand what you're saying, but this is what I want to do. This is how I want it to be done, and I hear you. But also, just it's a vicious.
I'm gonna tell you something, right? Because what I've learned about myself with communication, I'm a venter.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, I love this 50 Cent quote from it's more recent, where it's like, we say, I don't want no problems,
Yeah, for sure.
but if we got a problem, it's no problem. That's like the perfect example of kind of like, you'll never see me start an issue whatsoever.
But is that still like some rough gangster shit though?
well,
The way if you could say it that way, it could be
thing-
taken rough and gangster, right?
well, not if I ain't starting it. Like, you can't be mad that if you bring something to me, I ain't ducking it.
Right. But
You
then
know
again,
what I'm saying?
it goes back to what we said earlier outside. Sometimes you gotta duck some wreck that ain't even worth being wrecked.
Right. So I think for me, and this is in all things. Was you about to say something? Go ahead.
And do you allow
I didn't
that
mean to cut you off, my
person?
bad.
No, you didn't. But do you allow that person? If you take that approach, like, yo, what was the quote again? Because it
He
was
said, I don't want
What
no
was that?
problems, but if we have a problem, it's no problem.
it's no problem. Like, it's no problem. If I say that to a dude in the street, I don't want no problem. I want no problem. I don't give him that opportunity to go out the back door. But that last little phrase, that's gonna make him stand up.
It's gonna make him think.
Ooh, with his boy. Ooh. You gotta give him that back door. That's just me. Because I believe a lot of these quotes, right? They put out in our communities, right? Not that particular one, but a lot of them they put out in our communities, right? And we kind of go for it. No new friends. One of my best friends is a new friend.
We ain't grow up together.
No,
You know what I'm saying? That's a good example. That's a terrible one.
We
Right
follow this shit, right? Like it's law. We preaching, we posting, we repost this bullshit. That mean you ain't networking.
You ain't.
That mean you ain't growing. And again, that don't mean that it just the craziness of the things that get out there and we go for it and we live it as law. It's just a few of them that I used to think about.
It's a whole lot of them. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of false narratives.
Narcissists.
I'll give you.
Everybody a narcissist now. Every word that come out of people's mouths is a goddamn narcissist. You know what I'm saying? People. He wasn't a narcissist 2 years ago before it was the buzzword. What's that new word? Demore. I don't know what the fuck it is, but everybody want to say that shit.
Oh my God. I'm lost. I know I'm getting older.
So the point is, we are, I tell people all the time, right? We are, even as adults, imagine if we struggle with society and the things that come our way and we following trends and things of that nature. Like, I remember for a split second, Fila's came back in style. But if I'd have bought you a pair of Fila's 2 years ago, you looked at me like I was crazy. People wearing, what's the Jones now they wearing now?
Everybody on Asics. I've been wearing Asics.
They wearing
forever.
Asics now. Had I bought you some 3 years ago, you'd have been like, what is this? You see what I'm saying? So we following trends, and and they say this thing, we leading trends, and we are the ones who pointing things in the right direction. Are we really? Or
Right.
are we following what big corporate is telling us to follow?
Absolutely.
'Cause they give it to our rappers,
They absolutely
and our
do.
rappers wear it,
And they get
then our
all our
kids
damn
want to
money.
wear it, and then we go do it, and then we do it.
They getting all our money, Slim.
Come on, man.
So, just to go back to the point where, just from a communication standpoint, because I think, because it kind of talks to you kind of being able to be even keeled and kind of be able to set the temperature of the household. And, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about, you know, the times I've lived with a woman, like that's serious business right there. You know what I'm saying? So, but I realized for me, I don't like, I think more people than not don't address issues and challenges like head on.
For sure.
So they somewhat want to let the waters calm, things of that nature. Where me, it's kind of like, I like the heat of the moment, so that way we can really address things, not just accordingly, but I don't want to not address things in the moment, because if we take too long, then I'm sitting with it that time.
Right.
So now I'm festering. It's just inside me. It's like I got some things to say, but the time's not. It was like, because what I'll do then for my own self-preservation and kind of kind of maintaining my peace, I'm gonna just move on from it. I'm gonna make my decision. I'm gonna kind of come to my own conclusion and kind of, I ain't gonna say ending with the issue or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But just for my own emotional stability,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? I'm like, look, I'm not about to be walking around on eggshells for the next 2 weeks trying to figure out what's wrong with her and when this like,
Right.
all right, it is what it is. 'Cause what's gonna happen, you gonna want to circle back around 2 weeks from now, and I'm not gonna care.
Dang.
Because when I wanted to address it, you didn't want to talk about it. Now you want to talk about. I don't even feel that way no more. So now you
Right.
want to know, well, why did you say this and say that? Like that's how I felt then, or it doesn't matter now. I already decided that this is what I'm gonna do. So do what you do. So I'm a venter. I need to vent.
Yeah.
So especially with women.
For sure.
So when a woman gets on my nerves, I have to have my support. So yeah, I'll be back.
Yeah.
So that's why you see me. I'm hiking.
Yeah,
I go
for
out
sure.
in the woods.
Okay.
I'm getting in tune with God, with nature. You know what I'm saying? I could count clouds,
Yeah.
take pictures of deers. I don't
Yeah.
care. You know what I'm saying? I could be hiking works, but I need to talk to somebody, share my opinion, my perspective, tell them what I was thinking, tell them what she might have been saying. And this can apply not to that, just that, because this circles back to us with conflict resolution.
Yeah.
Because I think when you take what I'm talking about, like within relationships or even like with work, when you have that type of energy in the street, that's why we killing each other.
Yeah.
Because in the heat of the moment in the street, guns come out, weapons come out, fists get to flying. That's something different. In the street, I'm not ever going to fly off the handle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's going to be the flip side. I'm going to plot and be meticulous, but again, I'm not getting in no issues anyway. You know what I'm saying? Other than defending myself if something happened. But you was about to say something?
Yeah, I want to give you something that I learned anger management class, right? Right. But one of the things I learned there is that they told us, like, hey, because you are dealing with, you mentioned the situation with a lady, you're dealing with a lady, two different people, right? You might deal this way, but then she might operate this way, right? So what I learned in anger management class is like, yo, give that person time to cool down, because they might need to cool down in order to effectively communicate with you, right? But this is the kicker.
This is very true. I've learned that.
This is the kicker though, right? You guys gotta agree that, like, yo, we're gonna come back and talk in a day, or 3 hours,
Right.
Or
That's my point.
24 hours.
Right. You can't just let it linger.
You guys gotta come to agreement and say, hey, babe, if you need your time, I'm more of a goat now, but if you need your time so we can really hash this out, you gotta come back in 24 hours if that's what you choose on. Let's say you choose 24, right? In order for you to believe her, she had to come back in 24 hours so you can give her that same courtesy next time. So she has to come back in 24 hours. So that's something that you should check out your next female, like, or whoever you deal with. Like, look here, man, I like to get this off now. You don't want to get it off now. But if we go 2 weeks, this is who I get. So if you need time, let's me and you discuss when that time frame gonna be. That way I can trust to know that you're not we're not just going to sweep this under the rug. If I sweep it under the rug, that rug become lumpy as shit. And that's what me and my old lady did for a while. Because neither one of us like conflict. You know what I'm saying? And we swept some shit on the rug, man. We keep tripping over that motherfucker. We got to
Right. So that's my we touching on some good things here, right? So for me, I know that when you let things linger, it can impact other things.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
Because now it's a new created issue, challenge, problem with no resolution, no solution in sight because you don't even know when you're going to talk about it again. So now you might have an issue over something as far as a chore in the house, and now it impacts our sex life.
Hello.
Now you're going. First of all, I disagree with everything you said about that. So you think you're right, I think I'm right. I can put that to the side to get me some.
Hello.
But no, you like
buddy.
You wrong. I'm like,
yeah.
I ain't that damn wrong the way I can't get, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it that's why I don't like to let things fester. So another thing I've learned, I take notes now. So
hello.
If I'm getting to that point, especially with women, I've learned this with women because I understand tonality.
Yeah.
Choice of words.
Hello.
You know, I have a strong voice, so especially when I'm angry, it's kind of like the same type voice when I'm watching the Skins game and I'm hollering.
Oh shit!
You know what I'm saying?
So that woman scared that Joe, man.
So now you like, but then so then I had to learn. Well, that's how my mother or father talked to me. I ain't your motherfucking mother or father. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying I said that, but so it's like okay. So, for example, let's say, you know, whatever the issue may be, I'm like, all right, I know what I'm going to do. It's the date. It's the time. It's the come home. She did this shit again. I told her I don't like this. This is what I think about it, what I feel about it. Because what I don't want to do is move on from it. And then when it's time to read back and circle it.
Forgot some shit.
Right. Or I'm not. Because in the moment, I can express how I feel because I feel that way.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit in that emotion for hours and days because now I can't go conduct business because we beefing about who gonna wash the dish.
It's hard. It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard to do.
It's hard. So I'm either take notes. If I really feel like I'm disrespected, like, you know, with men, we big on respect. So if we say don't do something and tell you why 4, 5, 6 times, that's what I said. As the more I get repetitive, the more my tone going to change.
Yeah.
You have, you see parents with children, like I told you, it's like back in the day.
Yeah.
When moms hit that breaking point or pops hit that breaking point.
You know what time it is.
I told you, stop doing that. I'm about to pop you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's almost kind of like that energy.
Yeah.
So I'll go hiking. I'll go to the gym. I'll link with my men.
Yeah.
Talk to them. So now it's like, all right, I can deal with it a little bit better. I've been to therapy too, so I've learned these things over the years. You have to go through your lumps because I've made plenty of mistakes in the heat of the moment where it's just me and how I'm talking and responding in the heat of the moment. I done created a whole nother issue now.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
We were on some household chores. Now we talking about triggering traumas and you know, things of that nature. And you know, you're aggressive and like, what you think about to do something to you? Like, what do you mean I'm aggressive?
Yeah.
I'm not no bully.
Man. But again, though, man, like it goes back to, man, knowing your partner, man. And again, we all got something we come to the table with, man. Some people been abused by their mother, father, brother, cousin, old boyfriend, you know what I'm saying? Like, so when you raise your voice, they can be triggered.
Right. Absolutely true.
There's some things that as men we trigger by. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
and that's the thing. It's a two-way street.
Yeah, hell yeah. So it's rough out here, man. If you talking about dating, man, like I thought one time, like, I mean, my wife was gonna be done, right? And I thought about things that I would need and non-negotiables and things I never had nobody talk to me about. So that's another thing parents need to talk to our kids about, you know, non-negotiables. You know what I mean? When you're dealing with, what are you looking for in your significant other? You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, man, like me, I love massages. If I haven't broke up with my wife, man, but next year we gotta get massage, baby. I massage, baby girl, massage. And again, I realized too, massage is just a way of me, a woman showing that she loved me. It's my form of touch.
Personal touch.
She see me working construction, I work out, and my shit so get me out the way, baby. And that just showed me that you see me, really. And it's about the massage, but it's also you see me the same way you want to.
I agree 1,000%. I worked in retail for 17 years and working in facilities maintenance for 5.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, it's like, I work 6 days a week, 60 hours plus a week.
Mm-hmm.
Why I gotta ask for a foot rub? That's
Hello.
be on my feet
Hello.
all day.
Hello.
I ain't touching no feet. Oh my God.
We would love that thought. That courtesy thought. Hey, boo, you been up all day long. And I'm going to tell women something too, man. I don't think they understand their power sometimes. I don't think women truly understand when it goes back to that speaking life into a man. My wife spoke life to me and got me to go to night school again. My wife spoke life into me and got me to go to get my electrical thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
My wife, when I was doing this clothing brand, I originally started, was going to be an investor for one of my buddies' clothing brand and was going to put dope stuff on a shirt. That was my only idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
My wife said, since you having too much conflict with this dude, y'all can't really get the business and numbers down, just do your own. So she's a help creator of that. People don't understand, man, their true power, especially women, man. A right woman, man, pouring into her man and giving her man that little bit that you see that man, you see that man, and you know he been all day and he been on his feet all day, and you sit him down, you say, baby boy, I see you. Let me rub these toes, let me rub these feet. Yeah, you don't like it. You don't want to, but it make him feel good. Watch what that man do for you.
Right.
Watch the wall and the mountain he can climb.
Or this. I see you blow money and spend money. Just pay for the foot massage.
The thought. We like nice shits. We like to be considered too. We like to be considered.
I know I can pay for it.
Heck yeah.
I know I got my own money.
Yeah.
That's first of all, that's what I'm doing any damn way. You ain't doing it.
Yeah.
So I got to go get it done. So it's like it's the thought that counts.
It's just simple, plain as saying, I see you, boo. I see you, boo. Women, I talked to this lady at my job, right? I'm gonna tell you what her husband did, man. She told me this, right? She said this dude renovated all the bathrooms in the house, got up in the attic, put new spotlights in the attic. You know, attics are fucking piping hot, right? And she told me, I'm an electrician, and she was telling me this, all the electrical work he did in there. She was telling me, like, yeah, it was nothing. I said, baby girl, let me tell you something.
Don't say that.
let me tell you something, right? Because sometimes you don't know how dope your man is till he gone, right? Or you don't know how dope he is till you meet another guy who can't do all these great things he's doing. The fact that this man done renovated your home, and you telling me as another guy who's an electrician, things just going in a hot ass attic, I can come in there and charge you a couple $1,000. Just I'm going in your attic and I'm cutting holes in your ceiling. I'm doing electrical work. Couple $1,000.
I got to get that.
And you telling me it was nothing, it was easy? I said, baby girl, it wasn't. She said, I was right there with him. I said, baby girl, go home and tell that man, thank you. You appreciate it. Rub his back, give him back massage. You're not talking massages. I'm always gonna promote that to you, man. But the moral of the story is like you see that man and don't never diminish. Like something you say is so small, you take for granted sometimes. In relationships, sometimes people take things for granted.
Absolutely.
And my wife took each other for granted. We be each other so long, you forget to keep love on each other, keep dating each other. And it's not done intentionally.
Right.
It just happens.
It happens. Life, children.
Yeah, man.
You working, you grinding, building a brand. I think we just cooked up a solution for just about every challenge we have relationally in the Black community, whether it's within the community, you know, it's us as community members in our households, as parents and children and significant others, family members. We got to speak life into others. And we want to use that to kind of circle back, and that's how great your brand is, because now what I can do, I know I look good. I put this one together, just on some chill shit. You know what I'm saying?
You put them in the blender, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what I'm saying? That's not the reason I just like being on camera, people, but it's part of it. You know what I'm talking about?
That's right.
But anyway, I can wear this outside, and somebody can be, hey, bro, what that say on your arm, man? Speak life into others, man.
Hello.
That's what we got to do. I can use what I'm wearing and promoting, and I'm not even wearing it to promote it. I'm wearing it to
Yeah.
like it.
There
But
you
I
go.
can wear something from the Related by Love collection,
Mm-hmm.
and I can promote solutions in my community.
Hello.
So this is one of the reasons why I wanted to sit down with you,
Hello.
because a lot of people don't understand really the method to my madness. You
Mm-hmm.
see me working and cooking up with different people for different reasons, but I'm always solution based with what I'm doing, regardless of what it may be.
Yes,
So I know
sir.
I gotta, you know what I'm saying, be mindful of tone and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that, but at the same time, action still trump.
For
You know what
sure.
I'm saying?
For
I
sure.
can wear this and don't have to say nothing, but I'm still working towards making the community better. So that's why I love it. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
I'll always wear your brand, bro,
Man,
because
I
it's too,
appreciate it.
if never mind, it's great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the quality is amazing. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna get, matter of fact, we're gonna get into the stitching before I forget that. But the level of impact it can have outside of looking good.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so with what you're doing, and you said something too that was fire, where you talked about a lot of the messaging on the clothing are things that you kind of learned from in life and things
Help
that
me.
help
Help
you.
me. Heck
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
buddy.
So let's kind of get back into the actual pieces and what you got going on, because when you look at the embroidery on this, you know,
Yes,
everybody
sir.
got a little something out here now.
Yeah, man.
You know, everybody, and that we come from a fly area where,
Mm-hmm.
you know, ever since we was youngest, man, you know, every side of town had somebody coming up with a brand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've always been fashion conscious. You always been the type of people where, um, you know, you just aware of flappy. Like it's hard to grow up in the DC area, the DMV, even the Baltimore area, the Mid Atlantic. It's very, very hard to grow up and not be around one fly person in the crew.
For
Like
sure.
that's not gonna happen. It's
For
always
sure.
gonna at least be one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? In the crew, the neighborhood, the family,
Mm-hmm.
somebody gonna put that shit on.
Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? And for you to build a brand like this, let's
Mm-hmm.
talk about the quality.
Yes,
Like,
sir.
how do you feel? Where was your mindset at where you like, all right, I know I'm competing with a whole bunch of other brands, man.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And not just locally, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because this is something somebody can wear across the world.
For sure. For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
So
What went into how you felt like you were going to make your brand competitive enough to compete with everything else that's out here?
oh man, it goes back to what you said, man. A lot of things, man. I hear a lot of people talk about hustlers back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I take that same mind frame, my concept, right? I
Mm-hmm.
want the best product. I got the best product, people gonna come back and see me. If I put that bad boy on a rinky-dink shirt, I might get your sale one time, just out of pity or just out of the name, or
To get you out
but
my face.
get you out your face. I don't want that. I want repeat customers. I want people to come back and see me. So I always try to focus on having the best quality I can, and that's come by trial and error. You know what I mean? That come by trial and error. I had to learn these things. I know what I want. I know what I like, and I kind of stick to that. And my main thing I talk to my manufacturer about, man, I don't care about the price. I want quality. I had a buddy of mine years ago got mad at me because he wanted to put my brand on a shirt, right? And I'm like, and he wanted to sell it. And I was like, what kind of shirt you want to put it on? And when he told me, I said, dude, I don't do that. It got to be this. And he thought I was tripping. But at the end of the day, though, I want folks to be able to have the gear, keep the gear, and I want the gear to be quality because again, I want these folks to come back. I want them to want to shop with me. I don't want you one time. I want to see you thousands of times coming back to see me. And again, I learned that from being in the streets. The best product, people gonna come back and see you. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of things I learned from the streets, I apply to my brand now. Even to the point of me not being scared to invest $25,000 in merchandise in my brand. If he was able to put $25,000 out here into to illegal activities, and you wasn't scared, or you was scared,
But you still
but you
did it.
still did it. So that gives me the heart to invest it in my brand because I did it then. I could do it now. It's the same concept, the same thing. Best product, invest your money, flip your money. Don't spend your profits. Reinvest that stuff so you can keep building and keep growing. So that's what I did. I took things I learned from being in the streets and I apply it now. So that's what having the best product comes from, and try my best to do that.
I'm telling you, it's kind of like in rap where you have like a double entendre. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing for it to look good, but then to have the positive images, it's like it's such a deeper impact you can have, because now it opens up your customer base too. You know what I'm saying? You can sell it to women, you can sell it to children, you can
Yes,
sell it
sir.
to people that might be a little bit older. I could put this, my grandmothers or grandparents aren't living, but I can get this to moms. I can get
Yeah.
pops a sweat. You know what I'm saying? Aunties. They'll never mind the look. They're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I can do
Yeah.
this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus, Obama with a pistol on his
Come
John, or
on, man.
you know what I'm
Come
saying?
on, man.
We talked about how Yo Gotti had to change the name of Cocaine Music Group to Creative Music Group.
Yeah. It's
We
sponsorship.
have to be brand conscious when you're looking at the different aspects of business, from sales into marketing. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be beautiful to continue to see you grow. And like, where you see yourself going? Like,
Oh, man.
where's the future for Related by Love? Going into
Man.
2025.
Don't get it started, baby. Don't
Uh-oh.
get it started. I call myself the young legend, man. Again,
Got you.
and it's very important that we speak life into people and as well as ourselves. Because sometimes you might not hear from nobody. So sometimes you gotta be your best cheerleader, right? That's something I believe in. I try to talk. I'm gonna talk to Oprah about this brand one day, man. We gonna be big, man. I tell my wife all day long, man, we coming. It's a lot of things I gotta learn. I still don't know a lot of things. I jumped off the porch when it comes to this stuff, not knowing nothing. You know what I mean? I did with a manufacturer one time when my wife pulled the pants up, they ripped apart. like you can see my wife underwear. Thank God I ain't sell that to nobody. You know what I mean? So
right.
I've now
right.
ran across manufacturer that's pretty decent, pretty cool, pretty good. And I always share my manufacturer. Why? Because I don't want people to have to go through the things that I went through. I got guys that got scammed and all of those stuff from trying their own manufacturer. But getting back to your point, man, it's just the brand is gonna be super dope. I use fashion as a vessel just to spread the message of Related by Love. So my goal is to have Related by Love message, man, hit the world. 'Cause that's why I say let's go world a lot of times. I want to hit the world. I want to be able to change lives, change people's thoughts by people experiencing me. People experiencing folks like you. You see, I had a podcast I want to do, and your name was on it. Why? Because I look up to you with this podcast.
That was
thing.
dope too.
I love your
That's
speaking.
almost 5 years ago.
And that was 2020. I had in my notes. He was one of the guys I wanted to interview, and here he is interviewing me. And that's just respect that I have for this young man here, man, and his craft. And every time
Shout
I
out to you
ran
for that.
across anybody that talked about podcasts, did I call you?
Absolutely.
So people don't understand, like, when you do good out here, man, people in your corner, whether you know it or not, people rooting for you and they talking about you without you even being around.
Right.
So
Right.
for me, anytime I hear anybody, I done probably called this man about 3, 4, 5 times trying to get
And
him
I
off.
told him, I was like, look, I'm working on something.
He working and he taking the time. I mean, it be like that sometimes, but I knew every time this was the go-to guy that I wanted to call, and to the point again, Related by Love and the name and the messages, all that stuff. The clothing is just a vessel to get out the message. So I want to see this bad boy in 2025 take. I want to get more sales online. That's one of the things I struggle with right now. Right now, most of my sales come from outside. I want to do better with that. I need to take better photos. There's just a lot of things I want to work on to add to my website. I have to figure that part out, but I ain't quitting until I get there. So it's a fight, but end of the day, I want to be able to do big sales online. I want to be able to talk to people all over the world about the clothing brand. And this podcast right here, man, is the first step, man. We walk with this thing with numbers, baby.
Right, and I think, see, one of the things that, well, I'm glad you said that, because I want to get this out there, because again, in the podcasting world, in the creative space world,
There you
really, we're all creative, we're all talented, so now everybody on go
Yeah.
with what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? No different than clothing, rapping, podcasting. I mean, even OnlyFans, it's vicious on there. Like, I mean, my goodness. I didn't know sex was going to be that competitive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What? I mean, I didn't know that. I'm digressing. But
Okay.
So my point is, for me, like I was telling you, like, I'm like a podcast without a podcast. Like, a lot of people feel like, I want to start a podcast. I want to do, like, all you gotta do, if you want to eat something, you go in the kitchen and cook. You ain't got to be a chef. You put your own recipe together.
Yeah.
So I'm working with people that are already working.
For sure.
So the same way Related by Love can have, multi-layered impact with having quality clothes, but then a powerful message, I can sit down and talk to a designer and a clothing line owner an author, a motivational speaker, a comedian, a rapper. It could be a OnlyFans model. It
That's
could
right.
be whoever, but they working.
Hello.
So when I'm sitting down having conversations, creating content with them, I'm helping them because they can chop up clips, or I can chop up clips, and we could tag each other on the gram. You can put it on all your social medias, you know what I'm saying, YouTubes, and now you can show a different side of people that can help them business wise. And with me, I can show my value in a space where I can do something great with, you know what I'm
For
saying,
sure.
media and podcasting.
For
So
sure.
again, this goes back to also how I've always had a vision of just working with my people. So it don't always work out, and it's unfortunate, but I'm not discouraged by it.
Hell
You know what
no,
I'm
you
saying? You
can't
just
be.
gotta know how to work with the right people.
There you go.
So if you know, y'all gonna see us, you definitely gonna see me.
For sure.
I know some people just want to be in the camera, but I ain't that just in front of the camera. I'm not that guy. Like, if you're not doing nothing, why are you seeking attention? Go get some direction, get some purpose.
Right.
So you can always link up with somebody and collaborate, but if you don't have nothing to promote,
Yeah.
if you don't have a skill set to offer or sell, if you can't present value, then what are you doing? And I think that's what's challenging in our community. A lot of people in it for attention. A
Yeesh.
lot of people doing it for the clout
Yeah. Yeah.
with no purpose and no direction.
Yeah.
And waste time, and then when you look up, now you got to figure out how you're gonna get some money. Well, you should have been locked in on that first.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about that though, sometimes in life, that'll weed the folks out. And
Absolutely.
so you know they're gonna jump out there. Then can people really handle the high tides? You know what I mean? So same thing with clothing brands. You know, you got guys that start, but can they finish it? You know what I mean? And I encourage everybody, man. This here's a fight. You know, I tell people sometimes it take 30 years to make this pop. I'm here. So it doesn't matter to me. Now I don't want to speak 30 because I realize my power of tongue. It ain't gonna be 30. We gonna look for like 7.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
there we
saying?
go.
So
There we go.
so
There we
so
go. There we
so
go.
with that being said, but even with that mindset of like I feel like if you don't quit, you can always win. So to the people that just out there want to be seen in the podcast world, if they not really about that life for real, they gonna fade out. And the ones that's really the cream gonna rise to the top. Man.
Always.
So
Always.
I know you headed to the stars with it, man. Cause,
Yeah, I think
I've been waiting on you for a minute, man. Been encouraging, trying to push you that way, and you've been telling me the whole time, hey, I got it.
I think for me, I'm not going to spill like all of my vision, but I think the spirit of collaboration is necessary in our community.
For sure.
And I think I know with podcasts, I'm not going to lie, most podcasters aren't making money.
For sure.
You're actually spending more than you making. So you got to have other hustles too.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm real strategic in what I'm trying to do. This is, again, partially why I'm collaborating with people that are already doing things, because I'm not making no money off this particular episode,
For sure.
but you're going to get some sales.
For sure.
So I'm
sure.
still serving my purpose.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, but again, you know, when you have vision, you can navigate life, you can pivot, you know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like you said, it's almost like, it's like you was a running back.
Hell yeah, give me the ball, coach. Hell yeah.
So it's kind of like being a running back. Like, you're not going to have a straight line to the touchdown.
No, sir.
You gonna have to juke a nigga, spin off a nigga, stiff arm a nigga,
Jump over him backwards.
Jump
Saquon, you know what I'm saying? Well, Saquon,
you gonna have to Saquon a joker.
Yes, sir.
So I think that might be the best analogy to kind of transition. Like, pay attention to that. Like, life ain't no straight line path, no
Nah,
linear
buddy.
path. Like, you're
No,
gonna have to do what you got to do to get there.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But what was I gonna say? I kind of lost my train of thought. But yeah, it's like I said, it's you know, people have a misunderstanding of the work you got to put in to be successful.
For sure.
You know
I mean, when it comes to that situations like that, man, they gotta understand, and people gotta tell them too, because again, it goes back to a lot of things, man. People gotta let them know you gotta put that work in. Some people think that I'm gonna be Instagram famous, I'm gonna make money because I got 1,000 and 15,000 likes on it. No, you gotta know how to monetize your page and all that stuff. Shit, I don't know how to do that. I'm quite sure you might know how to do that.
Well, I'm learning, so it's rules. It's almost like a video game. So like for me, that's why I kind of changed the focus with my page, because I kind of turned my page into like a media page in a sense. From, of course, I'm posting my content and I post things that are interesting based on my personality. But like how you interact with people matters. So I'll give you an example of something I got to do better. Like when people comment, I gotta respond.
For sure.
I gotta, say
Yeah.
something to them, even if it's like I feel like I had a homie trolling on one of the clips I posted the other day. Like I posted a clip of one of the interview I just did with my man. He was like, "This jump 2-3 weeks old. When the next one?"
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, it don't work like that, champ. Like
Yeah.
this man got a mixtape coming out.
Yeah.
You gonna see these clips for the 2 months
Man.
from me because I'm helping the brother out.
Yes,
He's
sir.
like, it's old, but in my mind, I'm thinking the saying goes, "It's new to me."
Oh, yeah.
It was new to you. To me, it's old. Like if you feel like it's old, it might be new to somebody else. So what would you think? Somebody making an interview just for you? Like, what are you talking
I'm
about?
gonna give you an example. A shout out to my wife again, man. My wife, one time, cause sometimes I do my clothing line, right? I might come out with like this. I brought this out this year, right now. Let's say I don't sell them, right? I'll be like next year, like, damn, boo, I don't really want to bring them Jones out. People don't already seen them. My wife said, boy, and I've learned this from being outside too. Like, just snapping what she's saying. I go outside. Let's say something don't sell good this year. Next year that joint be booming, and she like, yo, my mind like, yo, people done already done seen this. They ain't gonna want it again, right? Then when I get outside, it's 1 million other people ain't seen it yet. You see what I'm saying? So to that one guy who made that quote on there, it's 1,000 other people who haven't seen that clip yet. So forget all that, man. It's still there. It's still coming, man.
So what I did is kind of to your advice is like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm not going to respond from a standpoint of like combativeness. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna still be me. So I kind of, I'm like, I said what I said, but. So the
What'd you say?
the
What'd you
first thing
say?
I said, I was like, your man geeking, he wants some more. You know, we talking some good shit.
Yeah.
He was like, geeking is for pipe heads or something. I ain't
Damn.
never geeking, blah, blah, blah. So we kind of going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? He's like, how am I geeking? It only got 9. He said it got 9 views, but I knew he wasn't paying attention because that's the like button. That ain't views. It got a couple hundred views. Not that it matter. I'm going to still keep cranking.
Man.
But I'm like, bro, it don't matter if it got 5 views or 9 views. That's more than I had last week. What you talking about?
Hello. But where that energy? I wonder why the energy
Where
come
that
out.
so it's like if you want more,
Yeah.
why you being negative?
Yeah.
Our people got issues.
But see, he don't understand that yet. He don't understand that yet. And again, people don't understand how that can affect you. You know what I mean?
Because that's energy.
I'm gonna give you a crazy example, man. I posted on my page one day, right? I'm outside, right? You know, I sell myself out of the trunk from time to time out of Iverson Mall, right? I had a guy tell me, man, I ain't buying your stuff, man. You ain't a myriad. Not, he was like, I ain't buying it. You outside selling your stuff. You should be in here doing it in downtown Locker Room, Foot Locker. I'm like, okay, well, I'm right here right now. He say, man, well, you ain't, because I started this new thing, right? I used to say I got the best clothing line in the city. And I realized I'm not competing in the city, and I don't want no smoke. I got the best clothing line in the world, right? My competition is the world and not the people that's right here with me. You know what I mean? So he was like, nah, you ain't got the best clothing line in the world. The Murray is. He said, then he got the nerve to tell me, yeah, Murray started out of his trunk. I said, well, if he can do it, makes you think I can't do it, Playboy. So, unbeknownst to him, I did hurt my feelings a little bit. To keep it 100 with you, hurt my feelings a little bit. But at the end of the day, I still killed it with kindness, and I still killed him with that respect. And by the time I finished talking to him, he's like, man, I fuck with what you doing. I appreciate what you doing. You know what I'm saying? Keep it up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Well, before then, it was this little back and forth, and I kept respecting him to the point that he had to respect me, right? But that don't mean it didn't hurt my feelings. So for that guy who tell my man he only got 9 views, that's 9 views today. Wait till, you know what I'm saying, next year. When it's 9 million views.
Exactly.
And you still watching, brother. But at the end of the day, don't look at it, man. Continue to keep watching. Continue to support, man. And please just speak to my man a little different. You see what I'm saying?
No, don't though.
No.
All right, go ahead.
I want him to speak different because we got to teach him. Because he's teaching somebody else too. He might got kids.
That's why
he might got kids.
Right.
So please learn.
Be a part of the community.
Please
Be a part
learn
of the community.
to speak to my man different. Understand that you can hurt somebody's feelings by doing that. You going back like I don't understand what comes out of that. Nothing good comes out of that. It goes back to the old saying, the old catch used to tell us, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. You ain't have to say nothing. You ain't got to go back and be negative on this man post.
And that's why I kind of was like, you know what? I'm gonna troll him back a little bit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like he geeking. Like, man,
Yeah.
I ain't geeking. So clearly he got offended by that.
Yeah.
I ain't geeking. You only got 9 views. I'm like, yeah, that's a bet. That's 9 more views than I had last week. And I'm laughing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But then what I said, I was like, here's the part you missing.
Mhm.
The reason I did the interview is to help my man promote his mixtape.
Hello.
I'm doing my part.
Yes, sir.
So it doesn't matter how many people view it, like it, don't like it.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure I do my part and follow through on where I link with my man. And I put the light bulb right there.
Yeah, man.
Like
Yeah.
you missing it because you
Yeah.
didn't know I was doing it
Yeah.
in the first place.
Yeah.
And haters always confuse admiration. Just say you like it and wait for the next one.
That's it. That's it.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it, bro.
But again, we'll get you there. We'll get
Yeah.
you there. But I ain't, you know, I think we do have to be emotionally intelligent as entrepreneurs, as
Yeah.
hustlers.
Yeah.
Because you don't know where people coming from. You don't know what they're going through. Clearly, they might not be at the mental capacity to even be empathetic enough to understand what others are going through.
Hello.
So, but it's critical because when I remember reading that, and I'd say for about a good 5-10 minutes,
Yeah.
I was in my mind, I was like, who is this nigga? What's up with
Motherfucker.
this? You know what I'm saying?
Little turd.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's going on? But then I had to think about it. I peeped how he transferred that energy to me. But I peeped it though.
Yeah.
I ain't wear it all day and you
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
buddy.
So I instantly flipped it into, you know, somewhat of like a trolling joke, but at the same time dropped my gem as a lesson and I kept it moving because now I ain't interacting with you because I saw where your energy was. So like I'm gonna keep it moving, you know what I'm saying? But that's one reason why with social media, and be honest with you, it's not a healthy place. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Man, brother, man.
People can go on there and do and say whatever,
Man.
you know, and it's like I've learned to be able to pick it up and put it down. I have to use it for, you know, business and marketing purposes and things of that nature. But the difference with this day and age now, if people are okay saying things to people when they're not in their face, knowing that if they was in their face, they wouldn't say that, or if they would, they know it might lead to something.
Yeah.
The mindset of, you know, people now has changed.
Yeah, man. Man.
It's sad actually because it's not going to can't continue to work out that way.
Yeah. I just would like for folks that operate like that the way he did to not do that type of shit, right? You know, because again, as grown men, we still hurt.
Absolutely.
We still feel.
Absolutely.
It wasn't cool. You know what I mean? And people gotta understand that. It wasn't cool. You know what I mean? Because I don't believe in making somebody feel bad about anything, especially when somebody trying to do something right. You know what I mean? So for him to move and
really, we'll go ahead finish with
no,
that.
no, go ahead.
Because my thing was like, if you want to see more, you know, content regardless, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm promoting your man.
There you go.
So why you ain't just sharing it and promoting it and waiting for the next
Did
one?
you
It's
check
like
out his mixtape yet, Playboy?
and the new one about to come out. Go
Yeah.
listen to the old one. Matter of fact, go do something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
or hit you behind the scenes. Hey, Playboy.
but I know how to recognize when people are letting you know you're doing something good.
Man.
So I was like, that's a bet. Like I
Man.
said, because you didn't have to comment. You didn't have to go in this little conversation with me. But my man hopped in. I'm laughing because I'm like, you just don't know how to give somebody a shout out and, you know what I'm saying, support.
Man.
And we got to do better with that. You know what I'm
Man,
saying? And we will as a people.
We ain't got no choice.
We ain't got no choice.
We ain't got no choice, man. And again, I'm glad we speaking that into existence, right? Because sometimes you keep saying stuff like, you know, we can't, we won't. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, when we start speaking life into the broader picture of things, then we will. You know what I mean? So we on our way, man. And that's what I want to promote, man. And again, man, anybody that got any heart, anybody that got any fight in them, you gonna promote that as well. You see what I'm saying? But if you out here, man, and you one of them dudes that fold and you, for lack of better words, a sucker, you gonna feel like we can't. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But I ain't cut from that cloth. I believe in us, man. I believe that we can get better. I think that dude gonna get better. You know what I'm saying? I know this podcast, or not so quite podcast, whatever you want to call it.
You cooking up, baby.
When we cooking up, you know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be dope. So, man, just continue, man. Pushing
Absolutely.
forward, man, and the sky's the limit for you, man. Like you,
Absolutely.
this is what you do. This you built for this, so
Absolutely.
that's in your system already. So you know what I mean. So
I'm locked in.
all you gonna do is you just sharpen the knives. Or you gonna keep getting sharper and sharper and sharper and sharper. You gonna be on that joint.
Yeah, he gonna be in the comments, and we're gonna keep having
He
fun.
might
So,
got some dope stuff. He might want to get out into the world that you might figure
I
out.
think he's an artist himself in a sense. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure what I got to, really look
Either
into
way,
his page.
either
but
way,
we'll get there.
When
you
the
know,
time is time, you know.
time is time. But let's before we get out of here. Let's talk about what you got going into next year with the brand. You know what I'm saying? 2025 right around the corner.
Oh man.
What are some of the things you got coming for the people? You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, I got some super dope sweatsuits on the way. Some have arrived already. Like I said, I want to build my online presence more. My wife concerned about me being outside, rightfully so. I feel like I'm covered by God and all that good dope stuff. So ain't nothing gonna happen to me. But again, if she worry, I want to try to figure out a way to do that, and also spend more time with my family. It helps me spend more time with my family. So right now, I'm just trying to figure out how to really boom online and have a more online presence. I'm also, believe it or not, entrepreneurship is hard. Like my wife don't really come from that aspect, so to be realistic and honest, like she finally locking in even with me more on this now. Like you know what I mean? And I keep telling women with that power, with that woman behind my back, and she's speaking life into me about baby go, and her blessings is there. It ain't a strain on us. Watch out. Watch out. Because they could be a strain.
Right. Because now you worried about y'all relationship.
I'm trying to spend time with my family, spend time with my wife. Got my brand. Like my brand fell off when my wife was going through a rough patch because my family is more important than my brand. You see what I'm saying? It's more important than my brand. So putting that aside, I couldn't even think about design. Nothing like this. In my mind, I didn't think about nothing but making sure me and my wife and my family are good. So now that's getting tightened up, them bolts getting, you know what I'm saying, bolted up, and she understanding her strength and her and my need for her presence and her support. Oh man. Great woman, man.
Yeah,
Behind
absolutely.
you, man, can have you run through a wall that's 10 feet thick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's the power women got, man. So I'm excited about with the future of the brand because again, the 6 years I've been doing this, we never was quite locked on the same page, and I feel like we're getting there, and she's understanding, and I'm understanding her more. So, man, the sky's the limit for me, man. You know what I mean? So
I already know. Matter of fact, we about to, take some pictures so we can use them. You can use them for the site or whatever.
Man,
you know what I'm
stop
saying?
playing.
Like I said, the spirit of collaboration, you can get a lot more accomplished when you work together.
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So we definitely gonna end on that note. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all checking out me with my guy Rome from Related by Love, Suitland, Maryland Zone.
Yes, sir.
Suitland side, stand
Man, I
up.
ain't
PG
playing
County,
with 'em, man.
stand up. Everybody
Yes,
in the DMV, much love.
Hello,
All right, we out of here. I'll catch y'all next time. Yes, sir.
my man. Appreciate you, young man. This was fun, man.
Oh,
It
man.
was fun, man.
Oh, man, this is beautiful.